Live from historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg, it's Fitchburg High School Red Raider football on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. Dan, tonight Fitchburg plays host to the Crusaders of Groton-Dunstable. 2 0-8 teams come to Crocker Field tonight. There must be a winner.
And that's what these consolation games are all about, John. Opportunities for two evenly matched teams to go to the gridiron over the next 2 weeks to try to find some positive results and to try to, give those teams, a good experience to close out their season.
For some of these guys, the seniors especially, on both teams, for the seniors of Fitchburg High, in all likelihood, it will be their last home game, and for the trivia buffs, historic aficionados, that sort of thing, in all likelihood, Dan, tonight is the very last game played on grass here at Crocker Field.
Yes, after all, we've got that turf replacement project coming in the near future, and it could be fresh new field turf here at Crocker Field this time next year. So it could be a historic moment tonight, and maybe the Red Raiders can finally break through and get their first win of 2023, but Groton-Dunstable looking to do the same tonight.
Been a frustrating season for both of these teams. Of course, last week here on FATV, Fitchburg High fell to Doherty by a score of 35-7. Groton-Dunstable played Hudson last week, Dan, and, well, they might have envied the 35-7 scoreline.
Groton-Dunstable did get 16 points. Unfortunately, the scoreline ended in perfect symmetry, which meant that Hudson found 61 points.
Hawks eat Crusader meat just doesn't roll off the tongue as well, but it was the case last week, that 61-16 defeat at the hands of the number 4 seed in Division 6, that being the Hawks of Hudson High School.
And in that one, it was 26-16 at one point for Groton-Dunstable. They got 2 long touchdown passes from Johnny Bordas, found Corbin Larson and Cameron Barlow for touchdown passes and for conversions on the swinging gate. However, Hudson went all crazy after that, 35 in a row to put it away. Their second highest point total in program history, going back to 1898. A 62-6 win over Algonquin in 1982 was Hudson's lone higher mark. Thanks to Bill Ballou from the TNG for that.
And as we talk about high scores, you look at the results for both of these teams, and one thing that stands out, you're kind of parsing 2 0-8 seasons, but Groton-Dunstable has consistently conceded more points than Fitchburg, Dan. Fitchburg, their last 2 games conceded 35 to Doherty, only 19 against Neshoba. Either of those would be the second lowest point total conceded by Groton-Dunstable all season. You've got to go all the way back to week 1 to find a lower score line for Groton-Dunstable's opponent.
And even then, a 26-6 win for Greater Lowell, the Griffins, out of Tingsboro. That was Greater Lowell's only win in the regular season, too. So it doesn't make things that much sweeter in a sense. 7.5 points per game Groton-Dunstable scores, but on average they concede 42. Compared to Fitchburg, 6.1 points per game scored, 35.6 conceded.
It's been tough going for both of these teams all season. One of the contributing factors for that, Dan, is Groton-Dunstable. They really haven't had a proper home game all year.
Yep. Despite being called Groton-Dunstable and representing 2 communities, they have not played in Groton or Dunstable all season long. They've been mostly on the road. They've played 5 games at Harold Norden Field at Ayer Shirley, as Groton-Dunstable is undergoing a renovation project themselves.
They should have timed it for the off-season like we did.
Well, it takes a little time sometimes. I mean, they had a lot of work to do. That was also a project that was years in the making. I found articles going back to 2016 suggesting this was something they really wanted to do. It does mean they've had to be road warriors a little bit. Ayer's not that far away from Groton for the most part, but still, it does mean a lot of traveling to every single game they've got to do. Just no way of going right from the back school into the backyard to play.
Historically speaking, it does make sense that a team that calls themselves the Crusaders would do a lot of traveling and a lot of losing. But I digress. Teams are at midfield for the coin toss. Red Raider captains going from left to right are Niall Sim, had a big game last week. Devani DeLeon, Luke Bolak in the middle. Shea Gagnor second from the right, and on the far right is Melvin DeLeon.
Yep, and captains for Groton-Dunstable, Cameron Barlow, Caden Wolfery, and John Madigan.
They will receive in this end zone. Gentlemen, shake them up. Have an excellent game.
Red Raiders will receive the opening kickoff, so we'll see the Fitchburg High School offense for the first time. That will be in just a moment, but Dan and I will step aside for the national anthems. It's Fitchburg High School football right here on FATV.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, as always, we please request that you rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem by the Fitchburg High School Marching Band.
Fitchburg High School Red Raider football here on FATV from, of course, historic Crocker Field in downtown Fitchburg. I'm John Gugerty, joined, of course, by Dan Bolak. And Dan, we've had a little bit of everything in terms of weather this season. We started off with some very warm games, downright hot at times. It's been rainy, it's been windy, and tonight it is just plain cold.
It was simply cold, 46 degrees, the game time temperature here in Fitchburg. And that's chilly hands, makes it a little more difficult to grip the football, a little more difficult to keep a handle on it. Might be seeing a bunch of drop passes tonight.
Drop passes, maybe some fumbles. Ball security will be a point of emphasis for both teams. Red Raiders getting ready to return the kickoff. Looks like, I believe that's Richard Solomon and Luke Bolak set up to return.
Looking like Zach Romick is going to be the kicker for the Crusaders.
Zachary Romick doing a kicking honor here for Groton-Dunstable.
Whistle goes. Romick assesses, charges, and we are underway here from Crocker Field in Fitchburg. Nice kick by Romick, sends Solomon all the way back to his 10. He bobbled it. Now picks it up, and he's going to be driven down at the 13-yard line. Nothing doing on the return. Fitchburg pinned deep in their own territory to start this game.
Didn't take very long for my words to be prophetic. Just a matter of having trouble holding onto that football as it came in, as Solomon had to double back a little bit. Wasn't exactly expecting the ball to sail as far as it did.
He did not respect the leg of Zach Romick. He was set up at about his own 20-yard line. That ball went to the 10-15 on the fly. Red Raiders come out. It will be Niall Sim, the quarterback. Bolak and Devani DeLeon in the backfield. Bolak gets the first down carry, off tackle to the right. Plows forward across the 15-yard line, down after a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Fitchburg.
Two in the backfield, sort of in that split formation. A little different. I think we've seen the Raiders try a few different formations with Sim at quarterback as opposed to when Collins was taking snaps at quarterback.
Red Raiders have been mixing it up a little bit. This time they'll split Bolak out to the left side slot, 4 wide receivers. Only DeLeon in the backfield, and he gets the carry. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's got a first down and more. Devani DeLeon is across the 30-yard line before being driven down. Stop the clock, move the chains. It's a gain of close to 15 and a first down for Fitchburg.
Solid run there by DeLeon, just reading his options. If he'd gone straight into the line, maybe only a couple of yards, he goes around the line, able to change directions a few times and really throw the Crusaders off. It's a gain of 16 yards.
Devani DeLeon has really come into his own as a ball carrier here in the second half of the season. He's become a key part of this Fitchburg offense. Now he'll be the lead blocker for Bolek as he takes the pitch off to the right. Luke Bolek's got himself a first down. Cousin Luke's out close to midfield. Fitchburg's on the move.
Another solid run there, and again, you see DeLeon as a strong fullback, leads the team in tackles this year, but you can see him blocking there, creates a nice block to give Bolek space to run down the far side. Gets it all the way to the 49-yard line, another 16-yard gain.
It can be a thankless job to be a fullback, but Devani DeLeon has done it in very good fashion. Gives Fitchburg another first down. Now he'll get the carry coming to the near side, tries to turn the corner, nothing there, reverses field. Devani DeLeon's going backwards, that's a problem. Gets a block from his quarterback, he's still 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Dan, I think Devani DeLeon put in about 200 yards worth of running on that play, and the result is a loss of 2.
That's what it feels like, but he had to do a whole lot. It could have been way worse than the alternative going backwards. Caden Wolfrey was right on him and had to do what he could to avoid him. You could just see the pitch out there. Wolfrey is able to disengage with Bolek, chase him, Hulslander in pursuit, and just a lot of running around. Ultimately, it is a loss of just 1 yard, but DeLeon had to do a lot just to make it a loss of 1 yard compared to the alternative.
Got Sim, the quarterback, in there trying to throw a block. Ultimately, it's a loss of a yard, second down and 11. Raiders go from the I. Play fake. Sim wants to throw to his left, off his back foot. It's a floater on the sideline, caught but out of bounds. Solomon went up and made a very acrobatic catch, but he couldn't get the feet down in bounds. Good coverage by Cullen O'Malley, junior for the Crusaders. Pass is ruled incomplete, and correctly so, I think.
Last week, Niall Sim was 8 for 11 for 126 yards through the air, but the 3 incompletions all found the hands of Doherty Highlanders. Today, an incompletion that doesn't find the opposition hands. It finds hands of a Red Raider, just not legally. Solomon is out of bounds as he goes and hauls that in.
So third down and 11 for the Raiders. Try to set up a little bubble screen to Solomon. Catch is made, but he's pushed down after a gain of about a yard. John Madigan with the tackle.
See the pressure coming immediately, and Sim seeing Caden Wolfrey breathing down his face. Just has to get the quick dump off pass, take the sure thing. Solomon's able to make the catch, but has to sort of scramble to do so.
And that's good work by Madigan. He was coming from the defensive left side. Now a low snap, just barely able to get the kick away. It's only going to be about a 9-yard punt, all things considered. Tremendous work by Allen Hall just to get that kick away. Returning quickly, Dan, to the play on that third down pass by John Madigan. He was coming from the defensive left side, and he had a clear line to the quarterback, but he also knew that the screen was developing, so he turned around, made the tackle. That's really good work by him. Now we'll see the Crusader offense for the first time. 1st and 10 for them from their own 42-yard line. Shotgun. Pass to the near side is complete. That's Cullen O'Malley with the catch. He's brought down immediately, however. Good coverage for the Raiders. I believe that was Sim with the tackle. And as we mentioned, Johnny Bordas, the freshman, is the quarterback for the Crusaders. He's got Caden Wolfrey. Well, Wolfrey was setting up in the backfield, but now he'll line up as the split end to the right. 5 wides for the Crusaders. We're going to see a lot of them. They've suffered a lot of injuries on the running game this season. Now it's Bordas keeping it himself. Got maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and a long 4 for Groton-Dunstable.
And Sim with the tackle, quarterback on quarterback violence there. And Bordas just keeping it, taking his odds, running to the left side.
Even with the way Bordas was lined up, Dan, he wasn't really lined up like a passer. He was running that from the jump. Now this pass on third down is complete. Into the open field is Wolfrey. Breaks a tackle. He's at the 20. Caden Wolfrey is gone. Touchdown, Crusaders. Just a quick pass out to the left side. Caden Wolfrey did most of the work after the catch. Found him in open space. Found a hole in the coverage, and off he goes. Gets out of the tackle of Bolak. He avoids the arm tackle of Luis Santos, and then he is gone.
Second touchdown of the season for the senior Caden Wolfrey, a multi-sport athlete. He's played ice hockey for the Crusaders. Now look at this formation. It's the swinging gate.
Swinging gate I see. Swinging out to the left side and taking it in for the two-point conversion is Romick. Zach Romick started the season as the quarterback for the Crusaders. He's got a two-point conversion here. And 7:34 to play in the first quarter. It is 8-0 in favor of Groton-Dunstable.
2 long touchdown passes is what Groton-Dunstable got for their scoring last week against Hudson, and they were successful in both their conversions, both out of the swinging gate as their base formation. So they know how to run the swinging gate, unlike certain former coaches of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, if you're looking at that, you're like, wait a second, I've seen that before. That went bad for one team one time. Yeah, that was the Colts that did that.
It was.
Tremendously embarrassing Sunday night game back when the Patriots were, you know, good.
Mm-hmm.
Those were good times, weren't they?
Yeah. So each team's had to turn with the ball, and Groton-Dunstable just hit another long pass, and that's how they got their scoring last week. That seems to be one of their more successful runs.
Romick will kick it away, and this time I noticed that Solomon and Bolak are set up at their own 10 instead of their 20. And Romick responds with a little pooch kick. Fair catch is called for and muffed, and then awarded even after the muff, which, is that how it works?
Problem, it's a federation thing. I've got a rule book with me, but I've got to find it in the rule book.
Okay, well, point is Santos called for the fair catch and was eventually awarded one at the 31-yard line. That's where the Red Raiders will take over. 1st and 10 for them.
1st and 10 now, Pittsburgh. Starting at their 31-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. They'll go I formation. Handoff goes straight up the middle to DeLeon. Thought he was brought down at the 35, but he's actually pushed backward to about the 32. Saw basically all the players on the field, Dan, look at the pile and be like, wait a second, there's no ball in here.
Was able to get a couple of yards going forward initially before it all went backwards quickly.
Call it a gain of 2. Fitchburg will come out right in that same formation. This time fake to the fullback, pitch to the tailback, Bolak. He's able to dance out a one tackle, turn the corner. Luke Bolak's got a 1st down and more. He's into Crusader territory before being forced out of bounds. Really nice run there for Luke Bolak. Fitchburg's on the move again.
Seems like the Raiders can get out to the flank. They can find some space and make some magic happen. Able to get it all the way to the Groton-Dunstable 45-yard line. Another solid run there by Luke Bolak.
If they're able to keep Groton-Dunstable guessing as to where the ball's going to go, with DeLeon and Bolak, that two-headed rushing attack, they've got something potent. Now a pitch to Bolak on 1st down. Tries to plunge up the middle, gets maybe a couple. It'll be 2nd down and about 7.
Give about 3 on that. Just a run up the middle that time. It looks like Groton-Dunstable's done well with the defensive line on those plays going up the middle. Doesn't feel like the Raiders have gotten a whole lot trying to go up the throat of the Crusader D.
Got to keep them honest. You can't commit to any one thing. Now 2nd down, try the swing pass to the near side. Bolak has the catch, gets out of one tackle. It gets pushed out of another across the 35-yard line, and that'll be good for another 1st down for Fitchburg. It looked, Dan, like John Madigan was going to wrap Bolak up just short of the 35, but then he got hit from behind and actually driven forward.
And for that, Bolak was able to break free, get a few extra yards. Just evading all those tackles, get to the 33-yard line and a fresh set of downs.
Now strong I formation to the right, and would you know it, it's a pitch to the right to Bolak. Good blocking. He's able to turn the corner a little bit. Gets about 5 yards out of it. Mark him down at the, let's call that the 29-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 5 for Fitchburg.
I think the art of breaking tackles is going to be a significant skill to utilize for the Red Raiders tonight.
Almost every carry, there's been someone in the backfield right off the bat. When they're able to make that first man miss, it turns into a pretty good play. When they're not, you get into second, third, and long, and that's not where Fitchburg wants to be. Hand off to DeLeon on second down. He's plunging through the line, breaks a tackle, and he's down at the 22. That's another first down for Fitchburg. Again, Dan, it's all about, it's almost like boxing. It's counter-punching. It's anticipating where the defenses are going to be and putting the ball in another place.
Trying to keep them guessing, make them think you're going to go up high, but instead you go to the stomach. Keep them guessing. Another first down for the Raiders.
First and 10 at the 22. Might be time to go for a haymaker. See if they take a shot at the end zone. Instead, it's a pitch to Bolak, running to the right. Nothing there. He's able to dodge out of a tackle, however. Makes something happen. Bolak down after another good game.
Another 5 yards for Luke. And again, having to dance and spin out of tackles.
Crusaders will take a timeout, try to catch their breath.
First charge, time for the half, Groton-Dunstable.
To continue the poorly thought out analogy, they will retreat to their corner and have their coach spray water in their face.
Oh, was that the round one bell?
Could be.
Well, Groton-Dunstable is ahead on points.
I suppose they are. It's 8-0 in the first. Have we already found our shtick? It might be a little early, but it's fun, so who cares?
Raiders do have 88 yards of offense. They had 202 last week against Doherty. They actually did hold the Highlanders to 222, which was, all things considered, a pretty good performance. It was just a kick return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, nearly a fumble return for a touchdown. It was those kind of plays.
Several big swings that all landed for Doherty, helping lead them to a 35-7 win. Fitchburg looking for one of their own. Presumably they would go for 2 if they get in here, but you know, that's a bit of a cart before a horse situation. We'll worry about that in a few plays. Second down, 6 for Fitchburg. I formation behind Niall Sim. Straight handoff this time to Bolak. He's got great blocking in front of him. Luke Bolak is going to go in basically untouched. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Right after Sim snapped it, you could see a couple Crusaders already on the ground trying to blow through the middle, and Bolak sees the hole created by them committing as hard as they did and just makes one more man miss, and by that point, he's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Touchdown for the Red Raiders.
And I was wrong in suggesting that Fitchburg would go for 2. Alan Hall is on to attempt the extra point. It was straight enough, but it was short, no good. So with 4:05 to play here in the first quarter, Fitchburg trails Groton-Dunstable 8-6. We still get to hear from Mr. Touchdown though, so that's nice. Given that it's a consolation game and it's 40-some-odd degrees out there, it would be generous to say that it's a great big cheer for the hero of the year. It's a small but enthusiastic cheer. How about that? Now that wouldn't fit the meter, but I think we can make it work.
Take what you can sometimes.
Fitchburg will kick off for the first time. Hall with a low bouncing kick, just fallen on at about the 34-yard line. I believe that was Damian Agraz who jumped on it for the Crusaders.
I confirm.
It's always good to have a guy with binoculars telling you you're right about stuff. Not so great when you tell me I'm wrong about stuff, but you know, I try not to be.
We do our best.
So Johnny Bordas and the Crusader offense will come back out. Shotgun 5 wide once again for them. Motion man to the near side will try the wheel route there. They take a deep shot for it. He's got it wide open. Caught at the 30 and dragged down from behind is Corbin Larson. You saw that coming the whole way, Dan. Larson was lined up in the left side slot. He came in motion across the formation and just never stopped running. He's running at the snap. He turns upfield. He's always looking there on the wheel. It's a great play call. Great design. Credit to Solomon for the tackle, too. Now taking a shot at the end zone, just a little bit overthrown. Bordas was trying to hit Larson again. That time it was just a little bit beyond his grasp.
Yep, that last throw, 43 yards. Bordas and Larson hooked up for a touchdown last week against Hudson. Pair of freshmen for the Crusaders, part of this future that the visiting Maroon and Gray are trying to build.
Bordas pass to the near side on second down is incomplete. Basically ripped out of the hands of Cameron Barlow by Richard Solomon. If Groton-Dunstable comes out of this drive with anything other than a touchdown, it is, at least so far, solely due to the efforts of Richard Solomon.
He's been a tremendous asset on defense for the Red Raiders this year.
Now third down, excuse me. Bordas throws for the end zone. That is well overthrown. He was trying to hit Barlow again. You'll never guess who was covering him.
Just keep trying to throw in Solomon's direction. But in that case, Bordas just put way too much mustard on that pass. Never had a chance of hauling that in.
No real pass rush to speak of. The downfield coverage is good. If he underthrows that ball, it's going to be a pick. So he puts a little bit more on it, winds up overthrowing. Now 4th and 10, but from the Fitchburg 24. Not a terribly big surprise to see Groton-Dunstable go for it. Bordas looks to his left, now throws to his left, wide open in the end zone. Pass is incomplete. He was trying to hit Zach Romick. I think Romick had put a double move on Luke Bolak and beaten him, but he wasn't able to bring the catch down.
That was the key thing there. He was able to get past Bolak, but it slipped through his hands. You can see it go to the turf, and a bit of frustration there for Romick. Felt like he probably could have had that one.
Pass was a little bit overthrown, but Romick got his hands on it. It's another very well-designed play, Dane. You've got the far side receiver cutting in and then going up, drawing that far corner with him. Meanwhile, the slot receiver runs a mirror route going the other way, gets himself open. Really well-designed play, just didn't work out for Groton-Dunstable. Fitchburg's offense now, first down handoff goes to Bolak. He's got himself a couple.
Goes to the right side, gets a couple, goes to the 25. Don't have much more to say about that.
It's one of those plays where I wish I had to tell a story. One of these days, when someone who works for or loves FATV hits the Powerball, it's on the to-do list. Second down and 8 for the Red Raiders. They'll go straight up the gut this time for DeLeon. Crusaders are able to swarm around him. He gets maybe a couple, but it'll be 3rd and call it 4. Two very different offenses in this game, Dan. You've got Groton-Dunstable, who, whether by design or necessity, are throwing the ball all over the shop. Fitchburg has attempted, what, 1 pass? 2? I think 2.
We've got 3.
Okay, 3. On 3rd down, it won't be a 4th. Instead, it's a pitch to Bolak. He's got the first down. Not much more than that, but he wanted the first down, and that's what he got. It's a fresh set for Fitchburg.
Getting out to the flank is the most important thing in this circumstance. He's able to get out there and get to the 33-yard line just enough for a fresh set of downs. I've mentioned before, I do feel like the Raiders have a little more success when they are going out to the sides. The touchdown, when they went up the middle, that was just a case of circumstances in how Groton-Dunstable had committed so hard. Now what have we here?
Referee Sean Burke is going to confer with Fitchburg's head coach Paul DiGeronimo. Is Coach DiGeronimo not happy with the spot? Something on the near sideline, or maybe just conferring with another coach. Now they're calling in Todd Robbins, Fitchburg's athletic director. Might be some inappropriate behavior happening in the stands here, which would be unfortunate. Try to keep an eye on that situation. And Mr. Robbins has pulled out his cellular telephone and is calling our public address announcer. Apparently there is a laser pointer somewhere in the stands. We're doing investigative journalism again, Dan, by which we mean listening in on phone calls. 1st and 10 for Fitchburg. They'll give it to Bolak on a little bit of a misdirection play. They faked it to DeLeon, gave it to Bolak. He got about 8-9 yards. It's a good game for him.
We have a situation with a laser in the audience, and if we find you, you are out of here. So please, no more the laser, please.
I will echo the statements of our public address announcer, Chris Woods. If you happen to be in the stands at Crocker Field and have FATV on your FATV app on your mobile device, and you are shining a laser pointer on the field, stop doing one of those things. 2nd down and 1. Yeah, was that the tush push the Raiders just busted out there? Kind of looked like it.
Whatever they were trying didn't work. That's how I will put it.
2nd and 1, I think the Raiders went QB sneak, just try to catch Groton-Dunstable off guard. Maybe a bit of a loss even. Take a look at it again. Yeah, they just go straight QB sneak right up the gut. Crusaders were ready for it. It's the final play of the 1st quarter. When we get back for quarter number 2, it'll be 3rd and 1 for Fitchburg.
Although Sims going up the middle, he can't be pushed from behind. He can't actually do the tush push in high school football.
End of the 1st quarter.
That's actually that was something that they actually made a point of emphasis this past offseason. No tush pushing.
I imagine we'll see the NFL follow that fairly soon. But we've reached the end of quarter number 1 here from historic Crocker Field. 8-6 Groton-Dunstable is the score. And while we have a moment, folks, let's hear some about our tremendous underwriters who help make this and every remote production possible here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions for the 2023 sports season are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, Leominster Credit Union, the Sentinel Enterprise, and Minuteman Press.
Our thanks to them for all of their support, and if you would like your business to be among the underwriters for FATV's remote productions, please visit fatv.org for more information. 8-6 is the score. It is not a particularly high-scoring Red Sox game, or, a 2023 Red Sox game. It is, in fact, football. 8-6 Groton-Dunstable as we get ready for the start of quarter number 2 here from historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg. Good game so far, Dan. It's been an entertaining contest.
27 plays, 19 run by Fitchburg. Fitchburg is 125 yards of offense. Groton-Dunstable 102 yards of offense. All but one of those yards for Groton-Dunstable has come through the air.
And I feel like all but 1 or 2 of those for Fitchburg has come on the ground.
11 passing yards for the Raiders, 114 on the ground. Yeah, I got Luke Bolak has 95 rushing yards already.
It's a pretty good game for him. We'll see if he can add to it. Here with the play-by-play for quarter number 2 is Mr. Dan Bolak.
Long of 22, but he's had quite a few of those double-digit runs, and he's got the ball again, just trying to get a 1st down, breaking out of multiple tackles across the middle and across midfield. That'll be a 1st down for the Red Raiders.
It's all about keeping the Crusaders guessing. You line up with DeLeon as the fullback. You've established a willingness to hand it to him. So you get Groton-Dunstable thinking maybe it's going to 5. Hey, surprise, guys, it's going to number 1.
That'll come over 100 yards now, 106 on the ground on 12 carries. 1st and 10, he'll go back to Bolak. He goes through the middle. We have our first penalty flag of the night. This will provisionally be a gain of 3 yards. Our truck is informing us it might be a Canadian offense or a Canadian defense somewhere.
I did notice where the Red Raiders came up to the line very quickly. I almost thought maybe they didn't get set, but it's also possible that they just caught Groton-Dunstable in a substitution. We'll check with the officials and see what they decide.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on defense. 5-yard penalty, it's still first down.
So it is indeed 12 men on the field on Groton-Dunstable. Good catch by the crew in the truck. Take a look as they come to the line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 is trying to get off the field, but Fitchburg hurries up to the line, and they get the snap off well before Jason Zambuto could get off.
5 free yards for the Red Raiders to keep the down, so it's first down. 1 in the backfield this time. Bolak splits out as the receiver to the left. DeLeon will take it, finds a hole on the left side. Muscling forward, gets to about the 35-yard line. It'll be good enough for a first down.
And you know, Dan, 1st and 5 at about the 40. You've got Luke Bolak lined up as a wide receiver. There's a lot of signals there that it might be time to play fake, take a shot deep. And again, you keep Groton-Dunstable guessing. You think maybe we're going to do that? No, we're going to do this. We're going to hand it to DeLeon. He's going to get us 6 yards and a first down.
Bring it to 1st and 10, 36 yards from goal of the Red Raiders. Louis Bolak to the left side, but breaking through and taking him down in the backfield. Julian Burgos, the sophomore.
Burgos burst through the line. He wrapped Bolak up and let him know about it. Coming from that left defensive tackle position, he was able to get right over the guard in the center into the backfield and drag Bolak down from behind. It's a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Back to the 37. 2 in the backfield again. 1 receiver on either side with the tight end. Bolak will go to the right, try to outrun the coverage. Ends up running into, ran into DeLeon, fell to the ground, lost the football. There was a whistle in there.
Whistle had blown well before Bolak, well, definitely well before anyone realized the ball was on the ground. I'm pretty sure it was well before it actually came out as well. Yeah, I think Bolak had the ball all the way down to the ground and then lost it. And one of the sayings you hear in almost every football game, the ground cannot cause a fumble. It's not technically true, but it's basically true in this instance.
Cameron Barlow wasn't sure if he'd heard the whistle, so he jumped on the ball just for good measure. It's another loss of a yard, brings it back to 3rd and 12. Bolak will split out as a receiver this time to the right side. And 4 receivers for the Raiders. Sim wants to throw, left side. Got Wolfrey in coverage. That ball is going to be caught on the far side. Richard Solomon with the catch.
Solomon had Wolfrey all up in his face. A little bit surprised he was able to see this ball. I think if Wolfrey turns around at all to play it, it might be an easy deflection for him, but he never turned his head. It landed right in Richard Solomon's lap.
Sim dropped it right in the basket. Big 28-yard completion on 3rd down will extend this drive. The Raiders are 10 yards from goal. On 1st down, it'll be DeLeon trying to muscle through the middle. Knocked down around the 6-yard line.
DeLeon on the carry. Stopped around the 6-yard line, trying to bring up 2nd and 6.
This time just another plunge up the middle. I thought I saw Sim fake a pitch to Bolak, but no, I think he was just trying to set a little bit of a block, stop the backside rusher getting in from behind.
2nd and goal for the Raiders. The I formation again. Bolak will take it, go to the right side of the line this time. Gain a few more yards, down inside the 5. Give him to the 4.
Bolak on the right side this time.
Dan, I don't think Fitchburg's going to be able to get in if they're just going up the gut. They need to get some lateral movement going on the snap. You know, I'm not a football coach, but You've lined up with Bolak in the slot a few times before. Why not do that, send him in motion, get a little jet sweep going? Just a thought.
Groton-Dunstable's got a lot out there. It's going to be a pitch to Bolak on the right side. Give him some space. He cuts inside, and he's in. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
I don't know if that was an option or if it just looked like an option, but you've got Sim watching the defender. He locks eyes with Cameron Barlow. As soon as Barlow commits and steps forward to cover the run by Sim, Sim pitches it out to Bolak.
And with that, Bolak's able to do the rest. 4-yard touchdown run, his second touchdown of the night on the ground. His 5th of the season on the ground.
Now the Red Raiders will go for 2, most likely. I think they'll call timeout and think it over.
First charge, timeout of the half, Pittsburgh.
They'll do just that.
So a 2-point conversion here would make it a 6-point game. Extra point would make it 5, which doesn't really do you much good. Given the evident lack of kicker for Groton-Dunstable, a 5-point lead is pretty much as good as a 1-point lead. We have, of course, seen Fitchburg miss an extra point already in this game. I'm sure that plays into the calculus as well.
This is the time to try to go for 2. Groton-Dunstable, you know, they've been playing football for not a terribly long time. We've talked about, you know, the history of, you know, Fitchburg football, how many games they've played with Leominster, for instance. Groton-Dunstable started playing football just after I graduated high school.
I have been calling games on FATV longer than Groton-Dunstable has been playing high school football. Makes me feel old.
2008 was their first season, and they started out strong, 9-3 in their first season, had a 10-2 mark in 2012. Their first 5 seasons, 40-20.
It's a pretty good start.
Yeah, Groton-Dunstable's trying to avoid their first winless season in program history. The worst they've ever done, 2018, they went 1-9. Their 1 win came in a consolation game like we have tonight. They played Quabbin, who had 2 wins at the end of that regular season.
Well, you know, the Fitchburg fan in me says they'll have another game next week. They can win that one.
Raiders will line up in the I formation to go for 2. Lee Bolak pitch out to the left side, tries to put 1 move on, but too many Crusaders coming as reinforcements. I think Bolak gets 2 and he needs 3, and the conversion is no good.
Once again, they fake the fullback dive up the middle, try to get Groton-Dunstable to commit there, and then pitch it out to Bolak. Conversion attempt is no good.
But still, we'll have Mr. Touchdown.
We always have that. Again, who made the initial play just kind of stopping Bolak in his tracks off that pitch, making him fight for the extra yardage. Credit to him for kind of blowing that option play up.
One thing I realized as I was doing my research last night, Fitchburg has not converted a 2-point conversion this season.
That's unfortunate.
I think that brings them to 0 for 5 now. Kicking off from the 40-yard line on the near side hash. They're going to keep it on the ground. Takes a strange hop, pops up in the air, and will be picked up at the 31-yard line. Just rambling and scrambling, staying on his feet, getting to the 41-yard line. That was Jackson McAuliffe, a freshman, who didn't quite know what to do in that situation, but improvised well enough to get about 10 yards on the run back.
He was halfway across the field, getting toward between the hash marks, and then he decided, no, you know what, I'll come back this way. Not exactly what they draw up, but after McCulloch batted it up in the air, he takes it away from his own teammate, doesn't like what he's getting there, decides to cut back up field, gets out to about the 41, almost got a face mask on the way down too.
Whole lot of stuff happening on that return. Now Groton-Dunstable returns to the field. 1 in the backfield to the right of Johnny Bordas, the freshman. Takes the snap, holds, throws over the middle. That's going to be intercepted, I believe. Richard Solomon battling. It will be an interception. Solomon wins the battle with Barlow.
You know, Dan, Fitchburg has 11 guys on defense, right? Why does Groton-Dunstable keep picking on that one? Just tremendous defense by Solomon, sticking to his man in Barlow, following the ball all the way in, and then hanging on as Barlow tried to rip it away from him. Gives the Red Raiders a chance to add to their lead.
Raiders have the ball back on first down. Bolak up the middle, gets about 3 before the defense shuts it down.
Seven minutes left to play in the second quarter. Plenty of time for Fitchburg to run their offense. They don't really need to worry about the clock. They just need to get some positive plays, string them together. See if they can make this a 2-score game before halftime.
Out to the left side this time. It's Bolak with the carry again. Caden Wolfery able to get him from behind. Stop him at the 40-yard line.
That time Sim faked the pitch going to the right side and then pitched it off to the left. I'd like to see, Dan, it doesn't have to be a shot downfield. Just something on a first or second down to open up the defense just a little bit. Make Groton-Dunstable respect the idea that you're willing to pass on first or second down.
There's play action throw, incomplete for DeLeon. Right in his hands. That's the worst place to hit him.
Had open field in front of him. It looked like he tried to turn upfield even before making the catch. Sim had plenty of time. Pass was pretty much right there. DeLeon just tried to turn and reverse upfield maybe a moment too soon. Very catchable ball. Would have been a first down for the Raiders. Instead, they'll be kicking it away.
Not to plan, Hall with a line drive kick. Taken in at the 37-yard line by Barlow. Able to get it past to the 43, and then
it's a flag on the return. I know you folks can't see us, but I was giving Dan the universal hand signal for there's a flag on the play, which is flicking my wrist.
During the return, hold. Return team number 56, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
You can envision it. You know the universal signal for somebody threw a flag. There's a reason it's universal. John Madigan, the guilty party on the hold. It'll back the Crusaders up
to the 35-yard line. 5:36 to go in the first half of play. 12-8 the Raiders lead. This battle of 0-8 teams.
We haven't really seen Groton-Dunstable maintain a drive. It's been big plays more than that.
Bordas under pressure gets a dump off pass to Wolfery, and Wolfery on his feet, on his horse, and continuing to run. That's how they got that touchdown before, was just make the catch and then a lot of yards after the catch. Penalty flag comes in at the very end.
What was I saying about big plays, Dan? This one goes for 33 yards. Looks like a face mask indicated, so it'll be 15 more than that.
Unless it's one of the incidental varieties.
Grabbing the face mask, defense number 5. This is only a 5-yard penalty. It is first down out of the end of the run.
It is an incidental face mask. And as Sean Burke helpfully points out, that's only 5 yards. That's still in the Federation rulebook, in case you're wondering.
That is indeed still a thing. So right there, great work by the camera crew. You see just tremendous shot there. Luis Santos just reached out, got the face mask, and then pretty much immediately released it.
Throw to the right side. That's intercepted as well! Luke Bolak's got the pick on the far side. Looks like it may have been bobbled by the receiver. And the Red Raiders will take that.
We mentioned earlier in the game, Dan, Groton-Dunstable has basically been forced to go to an almost entirely aerial attack just due to ravaging injuries to their running back core. They've looked dangerous throwing the ball, but they've looked dangerous to both teams. This time Bolak does a great job jumping the route. Ball gets bobbled around in there. I don't even think it was Bolak who jumped it. I think Sim jumped the route, then deflected the pass, and Bolak came out with it.
All in all, is in the end, it was in the midst of number 1. And speaking of in the midst of number 1, that's where the ball is now, is Luke Bolak breaking down the near side, past the 45-yard line. It's Romick who meets him there.
Luke Bolak makes the pick, then he gets the carry. High school football, you playmakers do it all. Looked like he was going to break this one for a big gain, but Romick was able to bring him down. Saw him grabbing and pulling at the ball. Good job by Bolak to hang on to it.
Now throw up left side. That's incomplete again to DeLeon. I think the cold is really hurting the catching abilities there of DeLeon.
It's the second time we've seen Fitchburg go with that play fake and then try to hit the fullback in the flat. This time, DeLeon gets his hand on this, Dan, but I think this is a throw that Niall Sim would like to have back. That's a catchable ball, but that should not go down as a drop. That was a little bit too high for Devani DeLeon.
Now to the left side, DeLeon will just carry it, get to the flank. Again, the Raiders have found a lot of success getting out to the sidelines and getting the runs. That's past midfield and to about the 44-yard line.
We've seen Fitchburg have success on this play with Bolak, the ball carrier, and DeLeon, the lead blocker. This time they scratch that, flip it, and reverse it. DeLeon gets the carry, Bolak does the blocking. It's a gain of 9.
Now on third down, it's a run up the middle. What a ball for a while out there was DeLeon with the carry. Pretty close to the marker. That'll be good enough for a first down.
3rd and 1, a lot of trouble right on the handoff. Saw that on the replay there, but DeLeon was able to recover, hang on to the ball, got himself a couple yards before he was brought down. Still 3 minutes and change to play. Raiders only need 42 yards. They've got time here.
Sim fakes the handoff to DeLeon, takes it himself out to the right side. Gets past the 40-yard line. It's a good few yards there.
Saw Brady Hanahan pound the turf in frustration after that play. He was coming from the defensive right side. You'll see him at the top of the screen. He's trying to chase Sim down. He's got him by the waist, a good 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Thought he should have had a TFL. Instead, Sim's able to elude his grasp, picks up a reasonable gain on first down.
2:38 to go in the first half. Raiders lead 12-8 as the pitch goes out to DeLeon. He goes to the far side boundary and able to find that daylight to get a first down. Past the 30-yard line, give him to the 29.
You've got it right, Dan. These runs to the edge are really working out for Fitchburg. You know, they're doing enough up the middle to keep Groton-Dunstable honest. But the big gains are coming on these pitches to the outside, to DeLeon on the left, to Bolak on the right.
29 yards from goal are the Raiders. 1st and 10. Sim pitches it to Bolak. Now he's trying to go to the near side, tries to cut between a couple defenders. They'll close in and shut that door. Won't be much of a gain on first down.
Just as soon as we note that Fitchburg's having consistent success with it on first down, Groton-Dunstable's able to wrap it up. Not quite in the backfield, but after a very short gain.
1 yard gain on that one. You could probably also make the argument, he didn't get to the boundary that time. He only got to the numbers before he tried to cut inside.
It's a credit to Jackson McAuliffe and Cameron Barlow sealing the edge.
Just found out that's Jackson McAuliffe, number 4 on that tackle. Thanks to the FATE staff.
Officials conferred there and talked about something. Lunch plans, maybe? Get a steak and cheese?
Got a lot of great restaurants here in Fitchburg.
Could do a Red Raider hot dog.
Snack stand's open.
Exactly. I passed several road signs on my way in insisting that I know that Dunkin' Donuts is still open.
Second down, Bolak, left side. Ends up going through into the second level through the right side. Just maneuvering his way past the tacklers. He's past the 25, give him to the 22.
Watching this pile as it unfolds here, I saw a Red Raider literally sitting on a Crusader there. That seems unsporting. You can understand the growing frustration on both sides. I saw several Red Raiders holding back one of their own teammates, and I also saw several Crusaders holding back one of their own. These teams are getting irritated with one another.
Tick under 75 seconds to go in the first half. Raiders will rush to the line. They saw the back judge put his arm up for less than 10 seconds. It looks like the Raiders are going to call their second timeout.
Second charge, timeout of the half, Fitchburg.
That'll be the case with 66 ticks of the clock to go in the first half. 12-8 lead for the Red Raiders.
Fitchburg obviously wanting to run as much of this clock as they can before, hopefully for their sake, getting into the end zone. You wonder if maybe they've been a bit too conservative, Dan. Now with only 1:08 left on the clock and one timeout, it's going to be difficult for an offense that hasn't really shown the ability to throw downfield. Of course, we're reminded of a couple of other scores for Fitchburg earlier in the season. Would it be crazy to try the halfback pass again here?
Maybe not.
They've had success with those pitches to Bolak. You've really primed Groton-Dunstable for it. Listen, whenever I suggest a play call, it usually doesn't happen, and it's usually a bad idea to begin with. But, you know, 3rd down and 3, minute left. Pitch to Bolak, he chucks it downfield. It's a possibility.
They've made it work this year, just 2 weeks ago. I was just trying to look at my stat sheet, see what I've got for time of possession. This is only a general estimate, but I think Groton-Dunstable's only had the ball for 2.5 minutes in this game.
That sounds about right. They've been quick strike offenses, whether scoring or turning it over.
Or incompleting. And Sim with play action, throws for DeLeon, and he can't hold that in. There is merit to that play, but DeLeon has not been able to really make that work.
Double play action. Again, DeLeon's out in the open field. And again, Dan, I've got to stand up for Devani DeLeon. Yes, he got his fingertips on that ball. That is not a great pass.
It's not as bad as the last two that went in his direction. I'm only putting that in as incomplete. DeLeon will make it a strong side. I formation, 3rd and 3. Here is that halfback pass, looking for Solomon. It's broken up by Romick.
You can hear the frustration from the Raider coaches as something just slammed on the upstairs level of the press box here at Crocker Field. Sometimes I am right when I come up with an idea or I make a prediction. That time on 4th and 3, the Raiders try the halfback pass. It was very, very well defended. Solomon went up for it, but he couldn't come down with it. And now Dan, Groton-Dunstable's got 1 minute and 2 timeouts. We've seen them be capable of moving the ball downfield in big chunks. This half may not be over just yet.
This is a Groton-Dunstable team that will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Throw out to the right side is complete. Barlow has the catch, trying to break out of 2-3 tackles. Acevedo will assist in taking him down. Pedraza there as well. They get out to about the 30-yard line, put it right on the 30.
I'm a little surprised we didn't see the Crusaders take one of their timeouts there, but they are going with the hurry up. Trying to get set, get another play off.
They go quick. Bordas gonna air it out. Far side for Barlow, incomplete. Bolak with the coverage there. Just a little bit overthrown. Barlow had to go full extension to try to pull that in.
Just off the fingertips of Cameron Barlow. They were able to get him matched up on someone who isn't Solomon. But if Solomon's the A corner, Bolak is a darn fine B. He was running step for step with Barlow.
It was 1v1 coverage in multiple A's. Third down. Bordas now under pressure as Acevedo breaks into the backfield and just chucks it away.
Ordinarily, Dan, given that you were getting the ball back, I would say, 4th and 3, you probably just kick it away here. But I don't think Fitchburg can score in 10 seconds, even if you give them the ball right here, so why not go for it?
Bordas stands at his own 25, ball at the 30, with 5 wide receivers.
Timeout. Second charge, timeout of the half. Broughton.
Groton-Dunstable, I think, was going to try to make them jump.
If you're going to try the hard count, don't you have to, count? Isn't that how that works? Do you just stand in the backfield and kind of hope Fitchburg jumps at you? Yeah, that can happen sometimes.
They couldn't hear them yell loud enough. Maybe they couldn't hear them yell loud enough. We'll have a moment, too. I also want to mention, these two teams, they did used to meet regularly as league opponents. In fact, this is a rubber match between these two.
Oh, yes?
7th time that you're meeting. They split the last 6 meetings, 3-3. Fitchburg won the last 2 by 4 touchdowns each. I was able to find a recap for the last meeting. October 19th, 2018 here. 35-7 the Red Raiders won. Andrew Brooks, 2 touchdowns on the ground, connected with Devin DeLeon, Devani's older brother, for 2 through the air, and Anthony Aquendo have we heard that name before? He had a rushing score for the Raiders.
Rather important name in Fitchburg Red Raider history.
462 yards of offense for the Raiders in that contest. And now a more conventional punting formation for the Crusaders. Romick back to punt it away. Get a solid boot on that one. Bolak will watch it go past the 35-yard line. It'll be downed at the 33 with 8 seconds to go in the first half. Also want to note, very important, Groton-Dunstable got their lone score from Ben Rivette. 3-yard touchdown pass from Jack Barry, but the Crusaders were a few jokers short that night.
You had to get that one in, didn't you?
Had to.
Of course. That's good. That's fair. Noticed the Crusaders and the officials were both perfectly content to let that ball sit dead for just as long as they could plausibly get away with it.
Taken by Fitchburg.
Now the Raiders will call their final timeout of the half before what will almost certainly be the final play of the half. Wonder if Paul DiGeronimo is going over exactly how they drew up the hook and ladder.
What can we get for a 67-yard play?
Dan, we've been having an interesting competition with the folks in the truck over the past few weeks.
Yes, we have.
It's not mosquitoes this week, but there are a good number of gigantic flies in this press box.
I would have thought that the freeze that we had earlier this week would have told them try another life. That's not happened. Raiders are going to have a go. Sim will loft it far side. It's going to be broken up by Barlow as it goes through his hands for an incompletion, but there is still time on the clock.
There's also a flag down in the backfield. I think this is either going to be Fitchburg backed up 10 or advanced 15.
There are fouls by both teams of the play. We will replay the down. Personal foul, hands to the face by both 53 and 55. It is still first down.
There are 53s and 55s on both rosters. I won't speculate.
I'm guessing it's in the order of Fitchburg and Groton-Dunstable, but yeah.
Yeah, could be.
So now 1.4 seconds left means now this definitely will be the last play of the first half unless other things happen. And they'll go with DeLeon breaking out to the far side. DeLeon staying on his feet, knows he has to get to the end zone. He'll get past midfield. It's a good run, but time will expire in this first half of play.
This is the end of the first half.
The Red Raiders leading at the half by a score of 12-8.
Dan, we thought coming in that these two teams would look very different when they had the ball, and that has really borne out. Fitchburg is very, very conservative. They're going to run the ball. They're going to hand it off. They're going to pitch it out to the outside. Maybe if they're feeling really frisky, they'll try something play action. Whereas with Groton-Dunstable, it is all through the air all the time. Crusaders have been very dangerous when they've had it, but as we said, they've been dangerous to both themselves and the Raiders. 2 turnovers have short-circuited their drives.
It's been a very curious first half. Mortis is 5 for 13, 143 yards, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. And for the Raiders, 214 yards of offense on the ground. Luke Bolak, 21 carries, 140 yards, and 2 scores. The longest run for the Raiders, 22 yards. And already Groton-Dunstable's broken a few big plays, including that 53-yard touchdown pass from Bordas to Caden Wolfery.
Overall, I would say Fitchburg has looked like the better team. They've been able to consistently move the ball on the ground, but it's interesting, Dan. Both of these offensive approaches, they have their obvious benefits, but they also have the obvious drawbacks. With the Raiders, if you're getting 4 or 5 yards a carry, hand it off 15 times and then you're in the end zone. That's easy. But if one of those plays blows up, now it's 2nd and 10, now it's 3rd and 9, and now you're in trouble. With Groton-Dunstable, keep taking shots downfield. If you hit one of them, it's 6 points. You might get picked off 3 times in doing it, but if you hit one of them, it's 6 points.
It's the ultimate boomer bust offense. Groton-Dunstable has just a single rushing yard to their credit on a single rushing attempt, and that was a quarterback keeper.
It has been a very entertaining first half, folks. We hope you come back with us for the 3rd quarter. There must be a winner. One of these teams will be 1-8 in just 2 quarters of play. But for now, we will take the halftime break with the players and bring you the 3rd quarter of action here on FATV. Back here at historic Crocker Field as we get ready for the third quarter of action here on FATV. Fitchburg leads Groton-Dunstable 12-8 on the strength of 2 touchdowns and 2 failed, well, a missed extra point and a failed 2-point conversion attempt. Groton-Dunstable converted the 2-pointer on their only score of the game. I'm John Gugerty, joined, of course, by Dan Bullock. And Dan, you do love you some swinging gates, don't you?
Yep, that was how they got their conversion. As far as I know, it's 3 straight conversions by the swinging gate for Groton-Dunstable this season. Could be one part of the difference down the line, but nonetheless, the big stat I want to read to you, 253 yards of offense for Fitchburg on 42 plays in the first half. Groton-Dunstable has 144 on just 14 plays.
Groton-Dunstable has been boom or bust when they've had the ball. It's been big strikes downfield, but also turnovers, incomplete passes, and they have had to kick it away once. We'll see what their offense can do with the ball. But here with the play-by-play for quarter number 3 is Danny Bolak.
Alan Hall will put it on the ground to the 35-yard line. Acevedo will get in there immediately and wrap up the return man in Jackson McAuliffe.
Return, but Acevedo making a stop quickly.
Just try a little ground ball kick to the right side. Results in pretty good field position for Groton-Dunstable.
Groton-Dunstable will start out here, your second half on the 37-yard line.
They'll start on the 37. The ultimate boom or bust offense, the Crusaders bringing 5 wide as the default.
And there is Johnny Bordas, their freshman quarterback, trying to make it more boom and less bust.
Zach Romick, who started the season as quarterback, ran in motion to the left side, but Bordas there not really liking what he saw, and as he tried to put on the brakes, he blew a tire. And it'll be a very easy sack, perhaps, for Masango Amatenagabe.
We saw Groton-Dunstable try a very similar play in the first half, Dan, where they sent a slot receiver in motion and then had him go on a wheel route up the near sideline. That time they sent the former quarterback, Romick, in motion, but he just stopped, and it was a QB keeper to the left, nothing doing.
Try to catch the Raiders out, but Amatenagabe able to break into the backfield, and Bordas had nowhere to go. He's going to air it out here. Throw near side. Just a step too far for Cameron Barlow, the senior.
Barlow that time covered by Ali Coheel. Looked like he had a step. Pass was overthrown.
Third and long now for the Crusaders. 1 for 3 on third down in this contest.
Groton-Dunstable's come out in 4 or 5 wide formations very often.
And a very obvious jump there.
Full start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Crusaders have come out with 4 or 5 receivers a number of times, Dan, but it really feels like they're basically only thrown it to Barlow. I know that's not literally the case, but it's certainly what it feels like.
4 different Crusaders have receptions. With Cade Wolfery actually the only one with more than 1. As Bordas, home run pass again for Barlow, has to turn around. He's not quite able to get a hold of that one.
For the second time, Barlow's got a step on his defender. That time it was Sim along with Coheel trying to cover him. Barlow had them both beat, but the pass beat everybody. Plenty of time. You see he's looking there all the way. The pass is just a little bit too far for Cameron Barlow.
Bordas has a solid arm. He's got the ability to chuck it deep. But the accuracy is something he's going to be working on refining in the years to come. Zach Romick keeps us on the ground, actually hits a Raider. And Shea Gagne will jump right on top of that.
That's great awareness by Gagne. Seeing that that ball had struck a fellow player, knowing that it was live and recoverable at that point for Groton-Dunstable. He just jumped on it. And as a result, it's going to be tremendous field position for Fitchburg.
That is just a 6-yard punt officially.
The difference between that and the second shortest punt of the night is shorter than you'd think.
That is true. 35 yards from goal. Bolak on first down, rumbling through the middle. Several Crusaders jumping on his back, but not before he's past the 30. Give him to the 28.
Bolak has had one of his best nights as a ball carrier. I think you see him showing a little bit of the wear and tear as he heads back to the huddle there. Sometimes when you take that halftime break, you know, you've got the adrenaline going for the entire first half, and then you have to sit and wait for 10-15 minutes. Gives you time for the muscles to cool down, and the pain really sets in. That may be happening for Bolak. Now the ball's on the ground here.
DeLeon, I believe, had the carry on that. It's lost. It's Groton-Dunstable's football.
Coming out of the pile with the football is Sebastian Wells. And it was Wells. No, sorry, it wasn't Wells. It was Jordan Strauss who punched it loose. And it's just a scrum at the turf. Wells came away with it. It's a big break for the Crusaders there. Fitchburg was gifted the ball deep in Groton-Dunstable's territory. They turn it right back over.
10:18 to go in the third quarter. Each team's already had a possession. Flag on the play as Bordas throws a bullet over the middle. DeLeon came up with it.
I think the flag here is going to be on Larson. He was moving forward at the snap, Dan. You remember earlier in the game they tried this same play. Receiver comes in motion, runs a wheel going upfield. This time he started coming upfield too soon. He was moving toward the line of scrimmage at the snap, and you can't do that.
Illegal motion moving forward at the snap. Offense number 24. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Yep, that's exactly what the call is. They had Larson lined up in the backfield, and then he moved out toward the sideline and turned upfield. If you time that with the snap, it works out perfectly. If you do it too soon, it's a 5-yard penalty.
Now the ball is out again.
Tried a screen pass to the far side. It was blown up. I think Gagne was in there first, but you see a whole host of Raiders swarmed to the intended receiver. They just tried a quick smoke screen to the far side left. Fitchburg saw it coming all the way. Might have been, actually, I think it was Devani DeLeon who got in and broke it up.
Now Romick, the home run pass on the near side. And that's well defended by Solomon. Trying to find Barlow, the senior. But again, Solomon, a very solid defender. Not having any of that.
It's another deep ball they try to hit to Barlow. If one of them connects, it's going to be a big chunk, maybe even a touchdown. But Fitchburg's defense has done a great job so far. They've been aided by a couple of overthrows, but especially Solomon has played great tight coverage.
Now Bordas again. That's going to be way too far for anybody to get. Overthrew Romick.
Took a look downfield when I saw where the pass was heading, and for a second I thought the intended receiver was wearing red. Luke Bolak had the best chance of anyone to make that catch. You said it, Dan. Bordas definitely has a strong arm. I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen. Basically, Groton-Dunstable has done very short screen passes and deep bombs. We have not seen the medium passing game from them really at all tonight.
All or nothing, it feels. This will be down to the 37. It's getting really hard for me to keep tracking this.
There have been a lot of plays and a lot of quick, incomplete passes.
We're already going to have our fourth drive of the third quarter, and we've only played 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Saw Groton-Dunstable go, I think they went 3 and out, kicked it away. Fitchburg got it back, fumbled it. Groton-Dunstable went 3 and backwards and out.
Yeah. It's getting weird. Sim's going to keep it on first down. Now just try to protect the football. He realized it was starting to come loose. And there's 3 different Crusaders to meet him at the 30-yard line.
It's a 7-yard loss on the QB run on first down. Sim holding that ball out. You see right there, he almost loses it. It was almost punched loose again. Strauss, who recovered the fumble, forced the fumble rather last time, almost forced another one.
We did say off the front, playing in cold weather, cold hands, have trouble gripping the football. Bolak going to the right side, tripped up as he crossed the 30-yard line. Barlow breaking into the backfield to do that.
Most of the one-on-one violence in this game has been Bolak defending Barlow. That time it was Barlow tackling Bolak. You see, Dan, Luke Bolak is really laboring back there. He is doubled over pretty much after every play.
Just battling and grinding. Over 150 yards on the night on the ground.
See, that does not look like a player who is at 110% right now.
Now we play action. Sim rolling to the right. Throw is too high. Wanted Solomon, but he couldn't climb the ladder.
I've seen a very similar play to that a number of times tonight from Fitchburg. They do play fake to Bolak, and then Sim rolls out to one side or the other. He's tried to hit DeLeon, the fullback, a number of times with no success. That time he looks to Solomon on the second level. But the problem is the same. The pass is too high. Dan, we're going to be at 5 possessions in this quarter in under 4 minutes.
They're speed running. Not really how speed running works.
No.
To the 38-yard line, Barlow wrapped up immediately. Good defense there by Solomon.
I can't imagine this is actually a thing that people keep track of, but what's the record for most possessions in a quarter? Also, there's a flag down. Sean Burke's doing a lot of communicating with Paul DiGeronimo right now, indicating it's probably against Groton-Dunstable.
There are 2 unsportsmanlike fouls in the play, 1 by each team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Fitchburg number 45 and number 53 of Groton-Dunstable. These fouls offset. It is first down after the punt.
So Ezekiel Acevedo is the guilty party for Fitchburg, and Sebastian Wells was also conducting himself in a manner unlike a gentleman for Groton-Dunstable. It's not becoming behavior, folks. Just, calm down a little bit.
8:12 to go in the third quarter.
We're all professionals here, aside from the fact that we're all very much amateurs.
Let's see if they can diffuse a little bit of the chippiness. Drive number 5 of this half and quarter is Bordas with plenty of time. Now rolling to the right, and he's going to loft that into the Fitchburg bench, over the Fitchburg bench. It lands on the track.
Well, if he was aiming for the Fitchburg bench, then that pass would have been like many he's thrown this quarter, overthrown. Landed about halfway up the track.
The track is part of the resurfacing, by the way.
Good. It could use it. See, Bordas had plenty of time here. He wanted to go to the left. It wasn't there. Didn't like the check down option. Looking downfield to his right. Again, just great coverage by Fitchburg.
Caden Wolfrey will have the carry on second down. For the first time all night, Groton-Dunstable has given the ball to a running back. And Wolfrey gets 5 yards on it, and there's a flag.
Of course. It was too good to be true.
Came in well after the play was over.
After the play was over, on sportsmanlike conduct, Fitchburg number 4, 15-yard penalty. That results in first down.
Shea Gagne, the guilty party this time. And there's no offsetting penalty from Groton-Dunstable, so it's just 15 yards given to the Crusaders. Fitchburg's defense has done a good job stopping Groton-Dunstable, but now they're helping them out.
38 yards from goal are the Crusaders. Bordas with some pressure, and he goes down. Maximus Bronya into the backfield, gets a touch on Bordas, and he goes straight to the turf.
Bronya breaking through from the right side. Now he'll hurry up to the line just in case the Crusaders want to get cute and quick snap it. Groton-Dunstable taking their time here. Wouldn't be surprised to see them burn their first time out of this second half. The clock's got to be getting down. They're still in the huddle.
Watch the back judge, his arm's not up. So still plenty of time. They'll get in position, it's 40 seconds. Still not up, by the way. And Bordas dropping back. Dump off pass to Wolfrey, that's complete. Wolfrey on his horse. He's gotten a lot of yards after the catch. There is a flag in the backfield, so not all this will count.
I think it's going to be a block in the back against Groton-Dunstable. Usually on these screen passes, if you block them well, they turn out to be big gainers, but it's very easy to find a block in the back here. Let's see if we can spot it on the replay. I think maybe right there up at the top of your screen, we saw Connor Davis.
Block in the back, offense, 10-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
I think it was Connor Davis, number 55 for Groton-Dunstable, who had two hands on the back of Devani DeLeon, kind of pushed him away from the play. You cannot do that. That is against the rules. So that's 10 yards basically from the spot, which means it's back at the line of scrimmage where it was after the sack. Second down and call that, what, 16? Seems about right.
That's 2nd and 17 in my book.
Fair enough.
Big play action. Bordas, right side. Wants Barlow down the far side, incomplete. Trying to beat Solomon again, and again, Solomon comes up the victor in that battle.
Richard Solomon has had a tremendous night defensively, running step for step more often than not with Cameron Barlow. He almost had himself an interception right here. If you want, you could ding Barlow for OPI. He grabbed Solomon by the back of the jersey, just playing in defense there.
Bordas with time in the pocket again. Another deep ball. Looking for Romick, in and out of his hands. Luis Santos had the coverage for the Raiders, but Romick not able to close his hands on that football.
That time they try the left side, try to get away from Solomon. Romick's got the height advantage. He got his hands on that ball. Crusaders are going to go for it here. 4th and 17 from the Fitchburg 45.
The way they're throwing, if they get a completion, it'll be a first down. What's there to lose? Hit as he throws over the middle. Nobody in gray down there. It'll be a turnover on downs.
Closest receiver was Cullen O'Malley, but he was not particularly close. It's got to be tough for Groton-Dunstable, Dan. You've got a freshman quarterback who took over mid-season leading this offense.
Bordas has 154 yards through the air tonight. He's also 6 for 23.
That's, listen, 20 some odd yards per completion, that's pretty good. Everything else, not so much.
Up the middle on first down. Staying on his feet for a long period of time. That was DeLeon.
Second and 8.
Will give 2 yards on first down.
And these teams are just polar opposites on the offensive side of the ball. Fitchburg barely interested and only marginally capable of throwing the ball downfield at all. Groton-Dunstable, it is all aerial all the time.
It'll be a pitch. DeLeon out of the tailback position this time. Gets to the near side, but only gets a few yards as he's wrestled out of bounds by Charlie Palmer.
First time we've called Palmer's name tonight. He's a senior for Groton-Dunstable. Does a good job holding the edge that time, not letting DeLeon turn it upfield.
15 seniors, 11 juniors, 13 sophomores, and 17 freshmen on the roster for Groton-Dunstable this season. Raiders 51 yards from goal, but more importantly, 6 yards from a first down. Bolak will take it with a bit of misdirection in the backfield. Good penetration there. Bolak tripped up, can only get to midfield.
Really not much doing there for him. Cameron Barlow made the tackle. So Fitchburg has gone 3 and, well, you would say out, but Niall Sim is talking it over with his coach on the sideline, and here comes the punt team.
They will make an attempt to try to pin the Crusaders deep.
Ball spotted right at the midfield stripe.
Solid snap by Hall, line drive. They'll let it go, and this one will roll to the 15-yard line where it's down by Melvin DeLeon.
Hall's punt.
35-yard boot for Allen Hall. And a long field for Groton-Dunstable to traverse with 3:53 to go in the third quarter. 12-8 Fitchburg in front. Boy, this has been a long quarter.
It certainly has. We were talking before the game, Dan, there might be some long in terms of time quarters tonight, just because of the way Groton-Dunstable operates. They're either going to be getting first downs or incomplete passes, and thus far tonight it's been a lot of incomplete passes.
Well, a moment, want to note that Leominster got knocked out of the playoffs tonight. They got in as the 16th seed in Division 1. They lost 42-7 to top-seeded St. John's Prep of Danvers. First down, it is a run up the middle by Caden Wolfery. He's past the 20-yard line, still churning for a few extra yards. Wolfery has been one of the more dynamic players for Groton-Dunstable, and he gets about 9 yards on first down.
It certainly isn't their bread and butter, but Groton-Dunstable has done so much passing that this ground game is pretty open for them right now.
This is actually good enough for a first down, so give it to the 25. Fresh set of downs.
Officials seem to be a little confused with the chain gain there, but they got it worked out.
Try to go up the middle again from Wolfery. Returns for a couple of yards. Well, I mentioned, 2 years ago we had Groton-Dunstable here on FATV. They were playing St. Bernard's, and Hunter Wolfery, the older brother of Caden, was the lead running back at the time for Groton-Dunstable, and they were going run. So it's very interesting to see a different philosophy this time. The coach has changed since then, so that partially contributes.
That'll have something to do with it. Again, we did get a little bit of time to talk with Groton-Dunstable's coaches before the game, and they were stressing that they've just had so many injuries to their running backs.
Wolfery will battle for a yard on second.
And now, Dan, as we see on second and third down here, or rather first and second down after the first down run on their first play, once Fitchburg is stacking the box in preparation for the run, Groton-Dunstable just can't keep it up. They need that passing game to open up the middle of the Fitchburg defense before they can get any yardage on the ground.
It's been a while since they found a completion, and a quick pass off will fall incomplete as well. Trying to find Cullen O'Malley on the near side, and that was just a matter of getting that pass off, because not throwing the ball in that situation would have ended up worse.
Almost immediately, you see Bronya is barreling down on Johnny Bordas. There was nothing he could do about that. Bronya did not bite on the play fake at all. Forces the third down incompletion. And now a punting formation for the Crusaders.
Romick's going to try to fake and run with it on the far side. Bounces off Sim. He can get past Gagnor.
On the fake, it looks like Romick.
Looks like Romick has gotten to the marker for a first down. I could hear another thud and a yell for holding from up here. That's instead going to be a first down for Groton-Dunstable.
Demonstrative frustration from the Fitchburg coaches upstairs here in the press box at Crocker Field. Sim had a chance to make the tackle in the backfield, couldn't do it, and Romick got the first down.
Keep it on the ground on first down. Wolfery up the middle. Give it to the 43-yard line.
55,
and they take no time. They waste no time. Bordas rolling right side. He's got a bit of time. Still going. Now he'll chuck it into the Raider bench.
This time it was Ali Coheel barreling down on the quarterback. I got to give so much credit, Dan, to the downfield defenders, the linebackers and secondary for the Raiders tonight. Their downfield coverage has been tremendous. It's given the defensive line time to break through and pressure the quarterback. It's forced overthrown passes. It's been a really great job for the Raider defense tonight.
And third down, Bordas will get a throw off. That's going to be complete for a first down. The first completion in quite a while. He finds the freshman on the far side, Corbin Larson.
And really, Dan, that's something we haven't seen from Groton-Dunstable. They've been going with deep shots downfield or little dump-off passes. We haven't seen that 10, 15-yard pass.
There's a flag here. They'll stop the play.
Side judge on the near side is indicating a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that is indeed the call.
Puts the ball back in Groton-Dunstable territory to the 47-yard line.
False start on that one came, I think it was either on the near side of the offensive line or one of the receivers lined up here on the near side. So they just blew that one dead, back the Crusaders up 5 yards.
4 receivers, 2 on either side. Wolfery will take it. Wolfery cuts up the middle, Collides with a couple Raiders, still moving. A little bit of assistance comes to push him forward a few more yards, back across the Raider 45-yard line to the 44.
Caden Wolfrey has done a good job as a change of pace back for Groton-Dunstable. Now they're going to keep in the hurry up. They feel they've got the advantage. They want to press it.
9 yards, gets a second down and 6, and Wolfrey to the left side. Taken down right at the marker, and he's got exactly what he needs for a fresh set.
Another good run for Caden Wolfrey. They'll stop the clock just to move the chains.
First charge, top of the half, Fitchburg.
And Fitchburg will actually take a timeout, try to catch their breath here.
Seems like the thing to do. 39.6 to go in the third quarter of play. 12-8 Fitchburg in front, no scoring in this third quarter thus far.
You know, Dan, I made an accurate prediction of a play call earlier in this game. I'm getting a vibe again here.
All right.
Groton-Dunstable's just had 2 big runs for first downs. They've got a quarterback who, let's just say generally, likes to air it out. It's 1st and 10 at the Fitchburg 37. Play fake, go for the end zone?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Is sound logic. They gonna do that? I don't know. I'm not a football coach.
Second-year head coach James Creed for Groton-Dunstable. Coached for 5 years at Neshoba Tech. Still at Neshoba Tech as the dean of students there. First down. There's a play fake. There's a throw. There's a catch. Down at the 10-yard line.
You know, sometimes I do know a thing or two about football.
Corbin Larson will make the catch there. And Groton-Dunstable close to pay dirt. Down to the 9-yard line. Wolfrey on the ground. Breaks out of tackles, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Groton-Dunstable went almost entirely through the air in the first half, but here in the dying moments of the third quarter, they've turned the ball over to Caden Wolfrey, not as an every down back, but every once in a while when they want to move the ball on the ground, they give it to 21, and more often than not, it's successful. Now let's see if they can swing that gate.
We'll go to Bordas. He runs the right side and up the middle. He's straight in for 2. Groton-Dunstable sure knows how to run that swinging gate. It's 16-12.
This time they line up everybody on the left. Fitchburg puts their pretty much entire defensive line on the right side. Only one cornerback on the left guarding a receiver. So Bordas was able to take the ball. Bordas walked in untouched. Bordas' lead blocker ran in untouched. The blocker in front of Bordas' lead blocker ran in untouched. That was a wide open 2-point conversion run for Groton-Dunstable.
As we mentioned, they do have that play pretty much dialed in. That's one of those positives that Groton-Dunstable has found in this campaign. Again, trying to avoid their first winless season in program history. The Raiders, I can't tell you the last time they had a winless season. I do know 2016 was their most recent 1-win season. 2012 as well, they went 1 win. Wins against Oakmont and Milford, respectively. Milford's the #1 seed in Division III, by the way. Just to show where teams have gone. And Oakmont missed the playoffs.
Well, you know.
Romick will boot this one downfield, takes a hop, pulled in at the 14-yard line. Solomon staying up the middle, churning to the 33-yard line. 9.4 to go in the third quarter. The Raiders trail.
Fitchburg had been leading for this entire third quarter, but now they find themselves down by a score. And with Groton-Dunstable successfully converting that 2-point conversion, they do need a touchdown.
Time for one play, possibly 2, to finish out this third quarter of play. Delayed handoff, dropped, picked back up by Bolak. But he's only going to be able to bring it back to the 30. And that brings us to three-quarter time here at historic Crocker Field.
So a fumble on the handoff by Bolak brings us to the end of the third quarter. Fitchburg trailing now 16-12. And again, folks, while we have a moment between quarters, we want to thank the underwriters who helped bring this and all remote productions to you here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions for the 2023 sports season are brought to you in part by Groton Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, Leominster Credit Union, the Sentinel Enterprise, and Minuteman Press.
16-12 is the score in favor of Groton-Dunstable as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play here from historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg. John Gugerty, Dan Bolak with you here on FATV. Red Raiders will face second down and about 13 after a loss on their first down run. They went into the locker rooms leading 12-8, but Groton-Dunstable scored on their last possession of the third quarter. Two-point conversion made it a 16-12 game. 12 minutes away. There must be a winner in this battle of 0-8 teams. Second down handoff up the middle. Good gain back past the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of about 7 yards for Luke Bolak. And it'll bring up third down and 6.
As he was chugging backwards, I was thinking for a moment, oh, surely he's fallen across the line. It was a 9-yard gain, and after the loss on first down, they still need to get to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 5 coming. Raiders tonight 5 for 10 on third down.
I formation behind Niall Sim, play fake, pitch to Bolak. Tries to beat a man along the near side. He barely does, but he's dragged down in the process. Great defense by Cameron Barlow there. Brings up fourth down, and the Raiders will send out the punting unit. Fake the fullback dive up the middle. Sim pitches to Bolak. Barlow just does great defensive work, Dan, keeping that edge, not letting Bolak turn the corner. Raiders try to catch Groton-Dunstable offside on the punt. Fair catch is called for and made at about the 31-yard line. We can hear the coaches upstairs screaming for a flag.
Once before, they caught him off on a late substitution. It was the same player as last time, but this time they let it go. We're down to the 31-yard line.
Paul DiGeronimo is darn near beside himself on the sideline as he gets the explanation from Sean Berg. He clearly doesn't like it. I think he's still barking at him. Is Coach DiGeronimo going to get himself a run before he gets a win under his belt?
Yes, I hope not.
Officials are still conferring back near where they've spotted the ball. It seems like they're finally going to let it go. Groton-Dunstable will take over. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders at their own 31-yard line. Play fake. Bordas wants to go long to the right. Got a man open. Jump in. Caught. Great leaping catch made at about the 30-yard line by Corbin Larson. Brought down at the 32, in fact.
Mentioned with this offense, it's boom or bust, and there's another boom for the Crusaders.
They go to play action. Fitchburg has to respect it a little bit. Larson's open downfield. He leaps up and makes the catch. Now another first down pass by Bordas to Larson. He's across the 20 before being brought down. That's another first down for Groton-Dunstable. Dan, Groton-Dunstable spent pretty much the entire first half and third quarter trying to make the hookup work to Barlow. Now that they've gone to Larson, they're moving the ball downfield pretty quickly.
Officials timeout on the field for an injured defensive player.
And the officials will signal timeout. A Raider is down. Dan, where is the injured player? It was Masango Amate Nagabe, the injured player. They gave him time to get off the field. Gives the Raiders a chance to catch their breath. First down handoff straight up the middle for Caden Wolfrey. Not much going there. Dan, with the way Fitchburg's offense has been going really all season, but additionally tonight, a score here by Groton-Dunstable, even with 8-9 minutes left in the quarter, may put this game close to out of reach. Second down handoff. Wolfrey plows through the initial tackle. Plunges forward, gets another couple of yards. Dan, can we invest in some anger management for the coaches upstairs? It was funny the first time they slammed something. That's like the fifth.
Couple more gain to the 12.
Third down and 6 for the Crusaders. They're at the 12, they need the 6. Bordas looks left, fires for the end zone, passes tipped up in the air. And it is incomplete. Incomplete. Luis Santos holding the ball, gesticulating to the official, saying, I have the ball, I caught it. But no. Santos beside himself will take another look.
Rolling up the field is incomplete. It is down.
Ball batted up there by Santos. He's got it in his arms there. He may not have been able to secure it. And Groton-Dunstable will take timeout.
First charge, timeout of the half.
Santos was not able to secure what would have been a huge interception. Now brings up 4th down and 6 for the Crusaders. They will go for it. Take another look at that 3rd down pass. Santos bats it up in the air, bounces off of a defensive play, off of the receiver's helmet. And Santos goes to ground, and
from that angle, if it touches the ground, and honestly, considering where the official is who makes that call, he does not have as good of an, the angle's only about as good as the angle we have. And it didn't look like it touched the ground from my angle, but you can only see what you can see.
it's a very tough call. We didn't have the best angle on it, but 4th down and 6, huge play here. Groton-Dunstable can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Bordas wants 6 points. Throws for the end zone, incomplete.
But there were many whistles.
There were whistles before that ball was thrown.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
False.
The game clock, please set the game clock to 9 minutes and 6 seconds. 9:06, please.
So a false start against Groton-Dunstable backs them up 5 yards. It's no play, so they'll put the 5 seconds back on the clock. It'll be 9:06 remaining.
9 minutes and 6 seconds on the game clock.
So we'll be at 4th and 11 for Groton-Dunstable. 9:06 to play here in quarter number 4. One thing that we really haven't mentioned tonight is the wind. It's pretty steady, blowing now in the face of Groton-Dunstable. May have contributed to some of the overthrown balls in that 3rd quarter. But a fairly steady wind in their face. Crusaders face 4th down and 11. They need to get to the 6-yard line. Bordas throws right side for the end zone. It is incomplete. He was trying to hit Cameron Barlow, but the pass was a little bit too strong. Fitchburg's defense holds tall once again. They force a stop on 4th down.
Barlow caught it on the hop, and he just threw the ball to the ground.
Ball gets spotted at the 15-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
Slamming it to the turf in frustration. That was a big chance for Groton-Dunstable, Dan. They could have almost put this game out of reach. Instead, Fitchburg has it deep in their own territory, but they do have it, and they only trail by 1 score. First down handoff goes straight up the gut. It's Luke Bolak, the ball carrier. He gets across the 15. It's a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I've been saying, trying to get out to the flanks has really been effective for the Raiders. This time, trying to do a little bit of misdirection, but Groton-Dunstable not really moving and not really falling for it.
They tried the trap there with Jose Casillas, the left guard, pulling to the right. Kind of blew the play up in the backfield. Now 2nd down, goes straight up the gut, this time for De Leon, and it's not there. Dan Fitchburg's had so much success getting to the edges with Bolak and De Leon. It's a little bit curious to see them going up the middle here.
It's not worked so well for them tonight. They have some success going up the middle, but more often than not, they get swallowed for a couple of yards.
3rd down and 7. You got to think if they don't get much here, they'll just kick it away. You don't want to hand the ball to Groton-Dunstable deep in your own territory, but obviously, ideally, you'd keep it. Pitch to De Leon. He's got about half of what he needed. It'll be 4th and 3, and there's no hesitation by the Fitchburg coaching team. As I trip over my tongue there. They're sending out the punting unit.
Just trying to get it out on the far side that time, but they just can't get out to the flank quickly enough on only a 3-yard gain.
Barlow sets up at about the Fitchburg 45 to return this one. Takes it in on the fly at the 47. Dodges out of tackles, hurdles a receiver about the 40-yard line. I believe there's a flag down as well. Dan is giving me the universal signal if there's a penalty flag.
The return, illegal block in the back, number 56 of the return team. 10 penalty from the foul, 1st down.
John Madigan guilty of a block in the back. That will negate what had been a pretty good run by Cameron Barlow. Bring the Crusaders back into their own territory. They'll start 1st and 10 at their own 44. 7:07 left to play here. Groton-Dunstable leads Fitchburg by a score of 16-12. Both of these teams looking for their first win of the season here at Crocker Field. Johnny Bordas, the freshman, will go from the shotgun. Man in motion to the far side. There's a flag right at the snap, and they kill the play immediately.
Ball start, offense number 68. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's a false start on Groton-Dunstable, and then the umpire, I believe, threw another flag afterward.
Also play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 68. 15-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Julian Burgos was called for the false start, and then he must have said something really nasty because he got another 15 yards tacked on. Let's see if we can spot anything here. 68 Burgos is right in the middle of your screen. Gets called out for the penalty. He's not happy with it. Turns back. He must have said something. There was no hesitation in pulling out that flag. It's a huge mental mistake there. Stack the penalties together. It's 1st and 30 for the Crusaders. Handoff goes up the middle for Wolfrey, but he's got nothing. Maybe a couple of yards before the tackle by Ali Coheel.
2 and 3 on the play.
Dan, this is a critical drive for the Raider defense.
Absolutely, and with Groton-Dunstable already burying themselves deep in their own territory in penalties, it's going to be demoralizing if they can't get a stop on this.
2nd down and Groton, or perhaps Dunstable. Bordas will go from the shotgun, handoff to the near side again for Wolfrey. Gets out to the 29, it's a gain of a couple. Still 3rd and functionally forever.
I've got 25 on my count.
That seems about right. They're at their own 29. They need Fitchburg's 46.
At this point, maybe just giving it to Wolfrey just to make sure they're keeping the clock running to try to limit the amount of time that Fitchburg will have.
Under 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Bordas sets up the screen to the far side. Pass is incomplete. Dan, I think they wanted to do that, keep the clock moving. But that time the pass was a little bit too low for Barlow to pull in. It'll be fourth down.
I think there are Groton-Dunstable coaches up there too.
I was gonna say, you know, I think some of the frustration we're hearing is from the other side, because that time there was a big slam and someone shouting, "Catch the ball." Everyone's very passionate about this game. Barlow's kick is away. Fair catch called for and made at the 42. Fitchburg has 5 minutes, 45 seconds, 2 timeouts. They need to go 58 yards. They do that, they get 6 points, they take the lead. They hold on to that lead. Paul DiGeronimo's got his first win as a football head coach. Come out in the I formation, 2 receivers to the near side. DeLeon's the fullback, Bolak's the tail. Hand off to DeLeon, straight up the gut, nothing there, bounces to the outside, aggressively nothing there. Less than nothing there, he's thrown backward.
Gains 1 yard before the thrust backwards.
Forward progress awarded before Brady Hennihan just grabbed him and threw him backwards. Right there, DeLeon tries to get to the outside. Hennihan is just bigger and stronger and stubborner and throws him to the turf. Second down and 9 for the Raiders. Just about 5 minutes left to play. Straight drop, pump. Sim wants to go long. Solomon's there, pass is underthrown and incomplete. Solomon had Zach Romick beat. Sim couldn't get him the ball. Falls incomplete right at the 5-minute mark. It'll be 3rd and 9. See Solomon trying to come back to that ball. He had Romick beat, but he had to adjust to the ball in midair. Couldn't get back to it in time. Third down and 9. Got to think this is 4-down territory for Fitchburg. Play fake. Sim rolls to his right, throws high and incomplete. He was trying to hit Solomon. Solomon would have had to have been about 8 feet tall to make the catch. Last I checked, he goes, what, 5'10"? 5'11". And now, Dan, you remember what I was saying about this being 4-down territory for Fitchburg? Punting unit is on the field.
They trust their defense to get one more stop. It's got to be what it's got to be.
Allen Hall's kick is away. Barlow makes the catch at the 30-yard line. He'll try to set up for a return. Spins out of a couple of tacklers, doesn't really get much. He's down at the 37-yard line. Groton-Dunstable has the ball back with the lead, 4:44 to play. We've seen the Crusaders, Dan, have a little bit of success on the ground, but mostly when Fitchburg hasn't seen it coming. In this situation, I think the Raiders see it coming.
What it comes down to for Groton-Dunstable, I know they just want to keep the clock moving. Boy, these two teams have really struggled to get the offense going, and both are now over 300 yards of offense in this game.
I think for both of those teams, most of that came in the first half, however. Definitely the case for Fitchburg. Bordas will come out. He's got Wolfrey in the backfield with him. Wolfrey barreling through tacklers. Gets across the 40-yard line. A great gain for him on first down.
Goes to the 43, 7 yards.
Now Dan, Groton-Dunstable, a team that had been so aerial focused through the first half and really through most of the third quarter as well. Their drives taking so much real time and so little clock time out of this game. Now they are just going to milk as much as they can. Second down handoff goes to Wolfrey, and he gets absolutely nothing. Blown up right at the line of scrimmage by Masanto Amade Nagabe. Great tackle for him right at the line of scrimmage. It's about 3rd down and 3. Now, John Madigan, their center, is really laboring. Thought he was going to come off, but he's going to stay in. 3rd and 3 for the Crusaders. Raiders stacking 8 in the box. Almost daring Bordas to beat them deep. He's tried plenty of times tonight. He hasn't really succeeded. He's not going to try here. It's a run to the right side. DeLeon spins him down. Caden Wolfrey ran into a tornado named Devani DeLeon. Loses 6. It'll be 4th down.
DeLeon, the leading tackler on the season for the Red Raiders, came in tonight with 66 tackles. That could be very well one of the biggest of the season.
Paul DiGeronimo showed incredible faith in his defense by choosing to kick it away on 4th down on the Raiders' last possession. Through 3 plays here, that faith has been rewarded. Groton-Dunstable taking every last second that they possibly can. Back judge's arm is up, so just a few more ticks left before they can call timeout.
Dunstable takes their time out of the half.
2:35 to play in this one. Fitchburg High has 2 timeouts. They will, in all likelihood, get the ball back. Red Raiders looking for their first win of the season. Again, it would be the first win as a head coach for Paul DiGeronimo in his first season as Red Raiders head football coach. James Creed, as you mentioned, Dan, in his 2nd year at Groton-Dunstable. 7-4 last year, 0-8 to this point in this season.
It's been a very, very interesting game. And as I continue to look at these numbers, think of Bordas, 10 for 32, 245 yards through the air. What an unusual line.
You'll take 24 yards of completion. You wish it wasn't on 32 attempts.
The Raiders through the air are 3 for 12 for just 39 yards.
Line drive punt, bounces at the 40. Luke Bolak will pick it up at the 27, try to make something happen. He spins out of a half dozen tackles. There is a flag down, however. Bolak is dancing for more yardage. It may all be for naught. We'll see what the penalty marker indicates.
During the return, legal block in the back with team number 4. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Shay Gunn, you're the guilty party. It'll back the Raiders up an additional 10 yards. They decided to kick it away. They get the ball back, but it's deep in their own territory with much less time on the clock. Going to spot the ball at about the 15-yard line. So Fitchburg now has 141 seconds and 2 timeouts to go 85 yards. Niall Sim, the senior quarterback, Devani DeLeon, Luke Bolak, the senior running backs, all of them, in all likelihood, playing their final home game here at Crocker Field. First down handoff goes to Bolak, running to the right side. He gets good blocking. He's across the 20-25. That's going to be a 1st down for Fitchburg. They'll stop the clock just to move the chains. 2:11 to play. Raiders do have some time. They don't need to be reckless, but they do need to move quickly. They'll do just that, coming up to the line, still in the eye. Hand it to Bolak again, straight up the gut. He's got a few. He's across to the 33. Sim will get the 2nd down play call. Fitchburg with 2 timeouts. They don't need to take them right now. 105, 104, 103 seconds left in this one. 2nd down and call it 4 for Fitchburg. They need to get out to their own 36. This time it's a pitch to DeLeon going to the left side. He's going to be dragged down very close to the line again, and I think the second effort is going to give him the first. Yes, it is. Stop the clock, move the chains, 1:25 to play, and Fitchburg will take their second timeout.
Fitchburg takes their second charge timeout of the half.
Danny, this is fun. I like this.
It's been the most competitive game we've seen all season long. One of those interesting notes, I was made aware of this and reminded of this basically before the game too, is that Luke Bolak's grandfather, Dave Sr., is a longtime middle school coach in the Groton-Dunstable system.
Yeah, we were talking with the GD coaches before the game, and they asked if there was a relation there, and it turns out there is.
Yes. We've established Luke is my fourth cousin, which means that Dave Sr. is my second twice removed.
That's how family trees work.
I had to do a lot of figuring out to make sure that's exactly how it works. Gets confusing at that level.
1st and 10 Fitchburg. They're at their own 37-yard line, 63 yards from goal, 85 seconds left on the clock. I formation, man in motion to the near side is Santos. He'll set up in the right side slot. Bolak gets the carry, and he is dragged down in the backfield. Sebastian Wells bursting through the line, tripping up Bolak. No gain whatsoever. Clock continues to move. Fitchburg's got to go to the air, Dan. They're not going to get it on the ground.
3 for 12 tonight. It's been a challenge really for both sides in the air, but Groton-Dunstable hit pay dirt enough times.
2nd down 10, play action. Sims pass to the near side is caught at midfield, dragged down inbounds at the 45-yard line, but they will stop the clock to move the chains. That's Christopher Rivera with his first catch of the night. Crowd coming alive here at Crocker Field. The Raiders will spike the ball with 51 seconds left on the clock. Sebastian Wells tried to dive on the snap. Officials are...
The ruling on the field is the ball was not put in play. No foul on the play. It is 1st down.
So no foul. They didn't officially rule the ball ready for play. The Raiders did not spike it. Now they will spike it with 48.4 seconds. Groton-Dunstable is diving at these snaps. Very interesting that they elected to...
Final charge timeout of the game, Fitchburg.
I don't think that last one was a proper spike. I think it was just a bad snap and couldn't get it forward and just jumped on instead, and they have to burn their last timeout just to keep the clock stopped.
That is a disaster in the making for the Raiders. I was, after the botched spike the first time, Dan, I was a little surprised that the Raiders were just like, okay, spike it again, rather than, hey, we've got ourselves a free 1st down play. Groton-Dunstable knew the spike was coming. They were able to dive at the snap, force a bad snap. Ball was downed. Fortunately for Fitchburg, they were able to recover it, but they do have to burn their final timeout. Now with 48 seconds and change left in this one, they need 45 yards. A touchdown gets them the lead. In all likelihood, the win. This Groton-Dunstable offense has certainly shown that it is capable of a quick strike. If they get the ball back, who knows what they can do.
In the two consolation games last year, Fitchburg needed final minute drives to win both of them.
They need another one here, trailing this one 16-12. 2nd down and 10. They're at the Groton-Dunstable 45-yard line. Devani DeLeon is the lone tailback. 4 wide receivers. Straight drop for Sim. He is in trouble. He is swarmed. He is sacked. All the way back at the Fitchburg 43. It's a loss of 12, and the clock continues to run. Except the officials have stopped it. I saw an official waving to stop the clock. It is finally stopped with 30 seconds left. Was there a flag in there, Dan?
I need Mr. Burke to explain.
Holding, defense number 5, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. This penalty results in a first down. Can the game clock operator please set the game clock to 42 seconds? 42 seconds on the game clock, please.
That is enormous. 12 extra seconds go back on the clock. Almost as importantly, it's a swing of 25 yards. What was going to be a 15-yard sack is instead a 10-yard holding penalty against Groton-Dunstable. James Creed cannot believe it. The Raiders have new life. 1st and 10 Fitchburg at the Groton-Dunstable 35-yard line. Straight drop for Sims, looking to his left, chucking to his left. Jump ball on the far sideline is incomplete. He was trying to find Luis Santos. This time good blocking, they kept DeLeon in. Pass was just a little bit out of Santos's grasp, well defended by Cullen O'Malley. Gotta say, Dan, the downfield pass defense has been really great for both of these teams tonight.
Groton-Dunstable takes their final charge timeout of the game.
And the Crusaders will take timeout to prolong the torture even further. This is still fun, and also I'm very stressed out right now.
It's been a ridiculous football game between these two sides. You know, two desperate teams looking for a victory. There have been some playoff games tonight that have been far less entertaining than this game has been.
That is true. Listen, folks, we try to maintain relative, neutral, impartiality, all of that good stuff. Danny lives in Fitchburg. I lived in Fitchburg for almost a decade. I am literally wearing a red vest and a gray shirt right now. It's a true fact.
Although with these colors tonight, that's actually...
It's neutral. That's true. I'm an impartial broadcaster. Dang it. 35.9 seconds. Paul DiGeronimo pacing the near sideline, hoping for his first win as head football coach. Niall Sim back to pass, tried to set up the screen pass, is batted at the line and incomplete. They were trying to set up the screen to Bolak. Goes incomplete, and now it's 3rd down.
Just a quick drop back, getting the hands up on the line there. It's Captain John Madigan. Get the hands up, and it can't get into the hands of Bolak.
Madigan, oh Madigan, the world's most dangerous Crusader on that play. Bats down the pass. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Sims straight drop. Try to set up the screen to Bolak again. He's got it. He's got blockers. He's at the 25, 20, stumbles at the 15, and he'll duck out of bounds at the 11-yard line with 23 seconds left to play. Luke Bolak has been the heart and soul of the Raider offense for many years now. One of his biggest plays of this game gives Fitchburg a chance.
They put it on the 10-yard line. It's goal to go with 23.2 left.
1st and goal. Bolak sets up in the near side slot. Devani DeLeon in the backfield. They will give it to him on 1st down. He plunges forward to the 5. He's down there. There's a Crusader down. And the officials will stop the clock with 13 and a half seconds.
Timeout on the field for a defensive injury. Officials timeout for a defensive injury.
Brady Hanahan was doubled over in what would have been the backfield. He will be sent to the sideline. 13 seconds left. 2nd down and goal from the 5. I formation. Bolak is talking with the head referee, Sean Burke. Now Paul DiGeronimo will call him over to confer. I think DiGeronimo wants more time put on the clock. The officials will have a chat about it. Wind the clock, 13 seconds and counting. Raiders spike it. 11.4 to play, 2 shots if the first is an incomplete pass. If you are tackled in bounds, that's the game. DiGeronimo has got to stress that to Sim. Sim has got to stress that to his ball carriers. Whatever the play call is, if you're tackled in bounds, that's the ball game. They will go 4 wide. Luke Bolak is in the near slide slot. Developing De Leon in the backfield. Sim pass looking to his left. It's batted at the line and incomplete. 8 seconds to go. 4th down and goal. One play, Dan. One play. Either Fitchburg or Groton-Dunstable is going to get their first win on the season based on this one play. God, this is fun.
To the very end, this game will go.
Sim under center. Bolak again in the near slide slot. Looking for him. Pass is batted. Incomplete. There are no flags. Groton-Dunstable's defense, with their backs against the wall, managed to fend off the Raider offense. With one kneel down, Groton-Dunstable will take the win, their first of the season here at Crocker Field.
Going to try to go to a quick throw to Bolak, but Bolak was in triple coverage.
They knew the man to cover. They had him blanketed. Sim couldn't get the pass in there. And now the Crusaders can just line up in victory formation. They have to be very careful on this snap, obviously. The Raiders are going to want to jump it, just as the Crusaders did earlier in the Raider drive. Clean snap. There's the kneel down, wind the clock, and Groton-Dunstable goes to 1-8. A 16-12 finish in a thrilling game.
That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Our final score tonight.
A tremendous game here at Crocker Field, Dan.
Oh, absolutely. Down to the very end, it's the type of game you want to see when you put these consolation games together. And just so many twists and turns. And all going crazy in the final minutes. The Raiders got 6 yards from goal, 6 yards from victory, and they could not find their way through.
They were 6 yards away, and they could not find the 6 points they needed. 16-12 is the final. Groton-Dunstable again gets their first win of the season. Fitchburg falls to 0-9. They will have another crack at their first win of the year. In all likelihood, it won't be here at Crocker Field. We don't know that for sure.
We will find out on Sunday afternoon. If I was a betting man, I would say at Algonquin at the new Gonkplex, but there's no way of knowing until then. There aren't too many winless teams left to try to get a first win game against, but my goodness, this was probably the best opportunity they had, and these two teams, they played very evenly. But in the end, Groton-Dunstable, they were able to make things happen with those big plays.
They did just enough, Dan, just enough.
One of the weird stats from this game, there were 51 pass attempts in this contest. There were 15 completions. How about that for symmetry?
That's, yeah, that's some symmetry for you.
Fitchburg finishes with 348 yards of offense, Groton-Dunstable with 304. Fitchburg had the ball for 33 minutes of a 48-minute game.
That's, yeah, you would think coming in that a team that likes to run it a lot would have the ball significantly more than an aerial assault like Groton-Dunstable. That's exactly how it played out. But again, Dan, the Crusaders did just enough. Just enough.
That's really all you can say. For Fitchburg, they were that close. If you watched on your FATV app on your Android device or your iPhone, or on the streaming app on Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Comcast channel 1074, Verizon channel 2137 in high definition, or online on the Civic Stream at fatv.org. We thank you for tuning in. It was quite a game. The last game, perhaps, at Crocker Field on grass, went down to the wire, down to the very end. but it's the visitors from Groton-Dunstable who take that rubber match in this series and now lead the all-time series 4-3. And yep.
It was a tremendous game here at Crocker Field. Fantastic work, as always, by the FATV crew. Thank you so much to all of them. Folks, thank you for watching. And hey, you don't have to wait long for our next football telecast here on FATV. We should probably mention that the Falcons are playing tomorrow, and they're also looking for their first win of the season.
The more likely outcome is that WestCon is going to clinch a share of the MASCAC.
Nonsense. The Falcons are going to win tomorrow. Bank on it. 12 o'clock kickoff right here on FATV. Dan and I will have the call from Elliott Field. Until then, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on FATV.